Am I the a-hole for not telling my friend her mom was alive? I, 32F, have had a best friend, Louisa, 35F, who is a prankster at heart. I hate pranks. I find them mean and super cruel. Louisa knows not to prank me since it upsets me. 3 months ago, she had pranked a mutual friend, Max, 35M, by hiding his car keys somewhere in his house. What she didn't know is that the next day was the day he was supposed to drive me to my final exam. My car had broken down days before. Because he couldn't find his keys, he couldn't drive me, and I had to get a cab who arrived late, and I was not allowed in the exam room and failed the exam. My MBA is being paid for by my employer, and this is now causing me a lot of issues, and might have to pay back what my company spent. To make things tragic, the day after my failed exam, Max's mom got into an accident while on vacation in Florida, we live in Georgia, and couldn't drive to the hospital since he was still missing his keys. Max's mom ended up passing away before he managed to get to the hospital and was alone for 2 days waiting for her son. Louisa knew this, but still didn't tell Max that she had hidden the keys or offered to help. It took Louisa 3 more weeks to confess that she was the one who had hidden the keys. Both my friend and I were furious. A few days ago, Max decided to take revenge by calling Louisa with a fake number and pretended to be a doctor calling from a hospital in Ohio where Louisa's estranged mom lives. The doctor then proceeded to let Louisa know that her mother had passed away and she was her next of kin, and asked Louisa to come to the hospital. Louisa was obviously distraught and left for Ohio the next day. When she arrived at the hospital, there was no record of her mother, and that's when she found out the call was fake. She called me from Ohio to ask if I knew who had pranked her, and I told her it was probably somebody whose life she ruined because of her stupid pranks and hung up on her. Now she's convinced I was in on the prank, and she got all of our friends to turn against me and Max. I wasn't aware of the prank until after Max called her, but I also didn't warn her before she left for Ohio. Am I the a-hole? Edit 1. Answering a few questions once and for all. Why did Max wait 2 days to get to his mom? He didn't wait 2 days. It took him 2 days to get from point A to point B. The car journey alone is 10 plus HRs. He got the news late in the evening and instead of driving to Florida overnight had to contact friends and family for money. No, he had no savings. Find availability at a local car rental a few HRS away, we live in a pretty remote area, and make the drive. That doesn't take 1 HR to do all that, and he definitely didn't sit doing nothing waiting at home. And no, he didn't have a spare, and no, I don't know why he didn't. Some of you have never lived paycheck to paycheck, and it shows. Why didn't Louisa call family or check before going to Ohio? At this point, we weren't talking to Louisa because of the prank on Max, and I have no clue what she did or did not do after receiving the call. All I know is that her mom and their family are estranged and have been no contact for years. Why did she do this? Absolutely no clue. My guess is when she realized I'd missed my exam, she was too embarrassed to say it was a prank, and even more so when Max was freaking out because he couldn't drive to Florida.